Good evening and happy Friday, you guys. You are now tuned into On the Scene with Marbra Foster. And I am tonight's guest host, Marquita Spears, also known as Auntie Kita, but better known as Kita K from TK Talks. How's it going? Tonight we have an amazing lineup for you guys with some unbelievable guests. I mean, one of the guests is here with us already, and this man is phenomenal. Okay, he's doing really big things out here, and I am so excited to have him on the show with us this evening. So, just to give you a little background of the Chicago native, okay, he is an American artist, writer, producer, composer who has worked on many big films and TV shows, all while juggling family and personal and also a healthy lifestyle. So I cannot wait to get you guys to get an interview going with him. But also on the show later on, we have a couple who's going to talk to us about their marriage and how the struggles of their marriage has turned into a success and how they're capable of helping other people who are going through the same thing. So, I mean, I know that we're going to get a lot of things done tonight. It's going to be motivational, it's going to be inspirational, and it's going to be a great conversation. So with us right now, our very first guest is Mr. Will Ballard, aka The Ville.
What's going on?
How's it going?
It's going good.
That's amazing. So just to give everybody a little background on Mr. Fuller, okay? I want to read off your little bio so that everybody can see how amazing you really are, okay?
All right, thanks.
Hey, so Will Fuller is originally from Chicago, now living in Los Angeles as an American artist, writer, producer, and composer. He began getting recognition internationally as an artist in the early 2000s with his songs like Ride It, More Than Friends, and Fibrotic Love. His professional film TV credit began in 2008 with placements on MTV and his creation of the very first hip-hop major network, which is dope, okay? And he's since become a go-to writer for studios, network production companies, and artists. Yes. So everybody, yes, welcome to the show, Will.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. How you feeling today?
I feel great. You know, out here in sunny California. Sun's still out.
Don't do that.
Still out.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Because you know we're in Chicago. And we got snow up to our eyeballs. And you in the sunny California area. That's awesome though.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Yeah. You're from Chicago though, so you're not a stranger to the snow that we're having right now.
Not at all. That's why I can talk about it.
Do you miss it at all?
I miss my people, but the weather, nah. I don't miss the weather at all. You know, when it snows, I just go to Big Bear when it snows up here. I really miss that. But
really? You just don't come home. You just go to Big Bear, huh?
See, when I come home, it ain't just snow I got to deal with. It's the cold.
Yeah, that's true.
If it was just the snow, like, I'd be good. But it's not. It's that wind and that cold.
So just tease us a little bit. What's the weather there right now?
Today, when I came in the house, it was about 74.
Oh, my goodness. You ain't no good. You just no good. It's okay, though. It's all right. It's all right. But I'm just glad that you're here with us right now, even though we have to do our interview through Zoom, which seems to be the new norm around here.
For sure.
It's still very great to have you on the show with us. So I know we got a little summary of you during the intro. However, I'm nosy and I like to get really into the man behind the brand, right? So just give us a little background, like where are you from? And how did you become who you are today?
All right. Well, musically, and I originally started on the south side of Chicago at my grandfather's church, Israel Methodist Community Church on 76 in Cottage Grove.
Stop it.
Yeah, that's where I was first introduced to music through his choir at his church. And he put me on the drum set and I was like 5 years old. And with the choir, with the kids choir though. Mm-hmm. So that's why I was first introduced to music. Then he got me into, taking piano lessons, and I just fell in love with music. without even knowing, you know. But he's my grandfather, the one that introduced me to it. And then you know, I lived on the south side of Chicago until 5th grade. And then moved up north to Howard and Damon. And then we took another step further into Evanston. And that's how, you know, I got a lot of lifelong friends and family from, you know, from E-Town. And, you know, from there, ended up going to college after graduated high school from ETHS, and went to Northwestern. That's where I met my beautiful wife, still married today, 20 years of marriage.
Yes.
Yeah. And she's from LA. So I kept her out here for about a good 6 years before she was like, all right, it's enough of this one. So we moved back to LA. Oh yeah. We didn't have to pull my arm too hard.
Absolutely.
And then we moved out here to LA. And, you know, it's really when my music career really took off is when I moved here. Like I was doing music back at home too. But I felt like I kind of felt like I outgrew the city for where my vision was or what I wanted to do. Because then, you know, back at home is that the music industry is super small. Like super small. So from when I was there, I know it's a lot bigger now. It's a whole lot of artists I don't even know about now that I'm hearing about that from Chicago now. So it's we always had a lot of talent. So I'm glad now that we're getting a lot of recognition back at home with all our artists and talent that we got there. So, but yeah, that's the quick synopsis of my musical journey and places I lived.
Okay. Well, awesome. We're going to rewind back a little bit because I know you said you were playing the drums when you were about 5 years old in your grandfather's church on 76th and Cottage Grove. That's around town, okay?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not far from there right now.
All right.
Now, was like doing the music your first choice though? Like, was that your first thing and saying, when I grow up, this is what I'm going to do?
Music was like, I didn't even know I could do it when I was a kid. I didn't know that's what I could do for a living, you know what I mean? So I had, you know, I also played college basketball. So, you know, my dream switched from that to trying to make it to the league. And, you know, that didn't happen. But, you know, that was like a dream. And then also wanted to be a firefighter. But music kept knocking at the door, like, yo, what you doing? Like, this is what's for you. Like, your grandfather already told you. Like, what you doing?
I know that's right. And you know what? You have to follow your heart. You know, when you get that notion that, look, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, you have to follow that. And we want to welcome to the show now. We got Miss Barbara Foster popping in on us. Hey, sister girl.
Hello, hello.
What up, Barbara?
Hey, Will. What up, Marquita?
What's going on? We were just sitting here talking about all the good things that Will got going on and how he started his musical journey. Because, I mean, you have a lot under your belt, and I cannot wait to dig deeper into all of the things that you got going on. You got me an inspiration. I'm reading your story and everything. I'm like, this man is dope. Okay?
Thank you.
Absolutely dope. Yeah. You have any questions you want, Barbara?
No, not yet. They'll come.
That's all right. That's all right. So in your intro, we know that you have begun to get known internationally back in the early 2000s, right? How did that come about? Like, how did you just start going all over the place?
So what I did was I had on my artist side, I did a song called "Write It," and it was kind of a crossover song. And I for me, I like took some of my Chicago roots, some of my house music, Chicago roots, and like put it into like hip hop / pop dance song, and it caught, you know, caught, and it caught in Canada first, caught in Canada really big, and then it started catching in South Africa, Australia, London, like everywhere. Which is crazy for me because it caught all these other places and didn't catch here in the US. It did, but it was minor compared to where it was catching that in the other countries. But it's all good, you know.
It happens.
People showed the love, so
Yeah. You're not the first person I heard say that, though. You know, I interviewed a film writer before, and he was saying like how a lot of his things got caught in Africa. It wasn't getting that much love in the U.S. So I mean, that's actually not that uncommon.
Yeah, you got to go where they calling for it, right? That's
absolutely. And all you need is that one.
Yeah.
That one to get you out there, you know?
Yeah.
And let it blow up.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Now I know you mentioned Ride It, but there was a couple of more.
Yeah.
More
another
Than
one
Friends.
was the follow-up song was More Than Friends that I did. And it was kind of the same type of vibe. And I did that with an artist that was already big in London. Her name is Kelly LaRotte. Mm-hmm. And she was already big in London. And my promoter at the time introduced me to her. He heard the song without her on it at first. He's like, yo, I got somebody that you should put on this. And then he sent me some of her links to her music. I was like, done, let's do it. She got her on it. We actually flew her out to Los Angeles to shoot a music video with another friend of mine. Her name is Shannon Elizabeth, who directed it. Shannon Elizabeth, she's an actress. She was in American Pie.
Okay.
But she directed the music video for the song. And then, you know, we got that song out there too. And it you know, got a lot of hits on it. So yeah.
And Fibrotic Love. Tell us more about that one.
So Fibrotic Love was like a song that I did. It was kind of before its time. Like a lot of people wasn't like doing that sound yet. I would say the closest person to that sound was Kanye, but I did it actually before he did 808s and Heartbreaks. Okay. And it was kind of on that same type of vibe of 808s and Heartbreaks. And that caught internationally first because it had that same dance hip hop crossover vibe to it. Once I saw that they liked the first one I did, you know, I just kept running with that and doing it, you know, different styles of it, but kept running with that because that's what they was asking for, and it was fun. Like that song was just about like, it's a dance song, but I always try to keep like a lot of like, you know, I try to keep my lyrics relatable to the time. So that song was really about the internet and how to, you know, how people moving on the internet and things like that. And it was pretty cool. It was fun.
Yeah, I can tell because I mean it reached a lot of people, so it had to be very exciting. I mean, I would have been stoked, so I know you were definitely stoked. Yeah, that's cool. So you know, I want to say, for some people who don't know how to go about doing what it is that you do, right? So you have a lot of things that you're doing. You make a lot of music for big name TV shows and movies and things like that. People who want to be able to do things like that, how would you say they should go about it, or what advice would you have for them?
First, I would definitely say learn a business. Like you gotta know the business side of this. Like you're like a manager. That way, once you understand the business and how that part works, then it's easier for you to move forward. I made a whole lot of mistakes on my journey. Yeah. To get to where I got, which is why I can tell people don't make those same mistakes. So this is an industry that always changes. So I would definitely say, like, if you can go to school for it, go to school for it so that you can learn the insides and outs of the music business, because it's dirty. And you gotta be prepared to jump into that dirt. You know what I mean? If you're not, then it's gonna be, you're gonna sink in the dirt. You know, a lot of 90% of people that get into the industry don't make it. So it's a 10% industry. And I would say the 10% of the people that stuck in the industry is because they learned the business side of it. So learn the business side first, and then like basketball, practice makes perfect with your craft. Like your music gotta be fire. Yeah. Like the music gotta speak for itself. You know, don't hang around a bunch of yes men and yes women, like they're saying, oh yeah, because they're your family or friends, they, oh, that's dope, that's hot. Like you need somebody around you that's gonna be like, nah, you can work on this or this, that, or you gotta listen to people that ain't really in the music industry too, because listen to people that's just listening for as a fan. You know, yeah. I went through that with my own wife. she was my biggest critic. To this day, she still is my biggest critic, you know? And I trust her opinion because she's not coming from no other place but listening, you know? So you got to definitely work on your craft. Don't hang around yes men. And once you understand the business, like I said, then you can find you a good manager, agent. I'm with an amazing agency right now called Run and Gun. I signed with them last July, but I've been working with them for the past 10 years. And yeah, that would be my advice starting up.
Yeah, I really appreciate how you said do not hang out with the yes man, because that's very important. Because there's no way you can grow when there's someone constantly saying, yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're doing that. When you're really not that great, you know? Right. So you need somebody that's going to have that audacity to just be honest with you. Right. And be like, look, work on this. So, I mean, I'm glad your wife is that person for you, too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too. That's pretty good. Yeah. So I want to get into some of the things that you've done in these films, right? You've been on some pretty big Netflix shows, TV shows. I mean, you're Emmy nominated. So that means you're doing something right.
I'm doing something right, I guess.
You're doing something right, brother. What would you say was your favorite project that you worked on thus far?
Oh, man. That's a tough question because so a lot of the music I do on the TV film side is a lot of shows that our kids might watch. So I do a lot of animated shows. And pretty much every project I do is fun, but I would have to say probably the funnest, and this is because of the story of when I first started writing with my writing partner, one of my writing partners, his name is Alex Doringas, and my very first time writing with him, it was funny. He always tells the story, but I'm telling it this time.
Okay.
He started producing a song and, the beat for the song, and I'm on my phone writing lyrics to the beat. And the whole time, he thought I was just chilling on my phone. Like, he was like, he ended up calling my boy, like, because my boy Ryan sent me to him to go write with him. And he ended up calling my boy, he's like, or texting us saying, man, you sure about this, man? He's just over here on his phone. Like, I don't know what's going on. So he gets done with the beat, and I'm like, cool, that's dope, man. I like that. Then I started, reciting my lyrics to the song, like, how you like this with it? Then his mouth just dropped. He was like, wait, so you're over there writing the whole time? I was like, yeah, what you think I was doing, bro? And that song, the very first song we wrote, we ended up getting Emmy nominated for, which is a show on Netflix called All Hail King Julian.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, awesome. Now I know I heard you had some big projects coming up in 2021 because I stalked your Facebook page. You said you're gonna hear my voice on some nice projects 2021. So tell me, what are these nice projects? What are you talking?
Yeah. Oh, a couple of them I can't mention yet because of
not
NDAs.
Even to me. I won't tell nobody.
I don't know. But SpongeBob movie is one. And also Boss Baby, the series, the show on Netflix.
Yeah.
Through DreamWorks, and then it's another show called Arlo on Netflix that you hear my voice on. And then some other stuff that's coming.
See, I thought I could sneak it in there. I'm like, he gonna tell me. He
trying to get me sued.
Trying to get me sued. No, I don't want to get you sued. No. We're gonna talk about it after the show. It's perfectly fine. At least you'll tell Marva, ain't that right, Marva? You got the inside scoop.
You already know.
Right.
Awesome. Yeah, you did a project with Snoop. Is that one of?
That's SpongeBob. Yeah, that's SpongeBob.
Yeah, how's it working with Snoop?
Snoop like smoke everywhere he go.
Well, we know that much.
It don't matter. He don't care who you are either. Like, that's Snoop. Like, that's in his writer.
Yeah. I mean, it still must have been a great experience to work with such an icon like Snoop, even though you're making a name for yourself too. So it's an honor working with you, I'm sure. But man, Snoop has to be.
Snoop, yeah, Snoop is the GOAT.
Yeah, that's what's up. So who are any other big names outside of yourself like that a lot of people know that you may have worked with?
I did a song back in 2010 with The Game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Called California. I did on a mixtape I did a song with Akon.
Okay.
Recent show, another show that I'm on Netflix now. What's the show?
I know you got so much going on.
I know it's sometimes it be jumbled up. It's Fast and Furious, Spy Races, which is based off the movie Fast and Furious. It's a animated show on Netflix. Okay. And the theme song I wrote with my writing partner Alex Dominguez and also Timbaland.
That is amazing.
Yeah,
I mean that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Thank you.
And I know you guys grab a lot of creativity from each other, and you make some really powerful pieces. So, I mean, that's awesome. That's dope.
It's fun.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. And then you're over there in LA, living your best life. You left us in Chicago in the snow.
You know what, man? I love it because so many people that's, I would say, from here, they just take it for granted. Like they don't understand. They don't know about locks freezing up on you. You know, going outside and taking that first breath and it feel like you just breathe up some icicles up your nose. Like they don't know nothing about that. So, like,
yes,
I appreciate it every single day, and I don't take it for granted. You know.
Yeah. Was it like a culture shock when you left Chicago and went to LA?
Yeah, it was. It was. Yeah. A lot of things are different here, like than back at home. Like just the normal lifestyle of living. Everybody's so laid back here to the point where I had to get used to people being late to everything. Like
they were late to everything.
Everything. Like even going to go hoop. Like yo, we're gonna go meet and go hoop at like 10 a.m. The 10 a.m. for them is 10:30 minimum. 10 a.m. for us, we there at 9:45. You know what I mean? Right. Probably a little bit sooner. Like, so I had to get used to that. Then the traffic was no big thing. Like I'm used to Chicago. We got traffic too. So traffic was like this y'all complain about this. Like the sun's out, and I'm good. I can sit in this. And
they don't know. Yeah, they don't. They definitely don't know how good they got it.
Nah,
they definitely don't. Yeah. Well, you know what? We know about the business side of Mr. Will. Now I want to get more into the family man, the husband, and the father, right? Yeah. You got 4 children, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
3 girls and a boy.
3 girls and a boy. My boy snuck out.
He snuck out?
I made girls, so he snuck out of there.
Gotcha. I got you. He just going, but I know you were happy about that one.
Oh yeah, I was definitely happy.
Yep, yeah, the girls are the older ones, right?
And my baby.
Okay, got you.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's why I know for sure he snuck out, because even the last one was a girl.
Well, you know what? I'm glad. I know you're glad he snuck out too, but that's amazing. You know, being a dad and a husband and having such a successful career going on, you have to let me know, how do you manage to juggle all of your responsibilities, right?
Yeah.
Amidst a pandemic and still making it successful. How are you doing that without making your family feel neglected or feeling like you're neglecting part of your work?
Yeah, I get asked that a lot, and for me, I made it a point to. I'm big on scheduling everything. So every part of my day, I get up in the morning and it's a schedule for me. I get up, I work out. That's, part of that, my workout. And then I go sessions. Everything is scheduled out in my day. Mm-hmm. All the way to, come home and spend the time with my daughter while she, before she go to bed. And, after that is my wife time. Like, I put my phones to the side. I don't cut them off, but I put them up. You know what I mean? Like, because I like spending time with them too, you know, and I think that it's just important, you know, especially since I have so many girls. My two oldest daughters, they grown like 26 to 27 years old, and they doing great, you know. But you know, I want to make sure that the youngest sister, you know, knows how to.
Because how old is your youngest?
She just turned 10 in January. Yeah, she just turned 10. So, you know, just spending time with her, making sure that, you know, she knows the man part of this. Like her mama got her on the mama part of this, but she needs to know the man part of this.
Absolutely.
Know? And I think that's important. And, you know, I did the same thing, you know, for my son. You know, things were a little bit harder with him. He's 19 now, you know, because I was still kind of building my career a little bit. So I was going a whole lot more then, you know, and I was, you know, just trying to get to where I am now with that. But I still put a lot of time in with him. He plays basketball, so that was our thing. Like I'm playing basketball. He does music too.
Okay.
So that was Will. Yeah, it's real. He looked like his mama, but he definitely me.
Yeah, I can tell. Okay.
Yep. So I just try to schedule it. I try to schedule everything because, you know, and I don't mean everything gonna work out. You know, everything's like boom, boom, boom. It doesn't work out like that all the time, but just knowing that, you know, I got this at this time, I got this at that time. And if something happened to come in between it, and if it ain't something that's super important, then I gotta let them know, yo, I can't do it. You gotta move that to this date. Like, when is that time? Like, wife come first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if she's not happy, then that's a real thing. Like I used to hear that all the time growing up. Your wife ain't happy, the whole house ain't happy. Like, that's a real thing. And I hate drama. I don't like drama. Like, drama's not my thing. I don't invite it and I don't encourage it. So I'm not definitely gonna have it in my house. You know, I can't. Like, I need to have good vibes. And not to say no bad ones don't come around. They do, it happens, but overall, like, it's good vibes. So I'm trying to keep everybody happy, you know, keep myself happy too.
There you go. You know, you got to make yourself happy. So absolutely. What's going on with you, Miss Barbara Foster?
Nothing much. Trying to stay productive during this darn pandemic.
Absolutely. And how have you been doing it in the pandemic, ma'am?
Good. Just trying to, you know, revamp the show and do some other stuff that I'm not going to speak about. I'm working on some stuff.
Yeah.
I did have a question for Will. Are the girls in the industry at all?
My daughter Leah is.
Okay.
Yeah, she actually just moved out to Atlanta to work with a producer out there.
Okay.
So yeah, she definitely is 100% in it.
Okay.
And and just my son, he's on the other one.
Okay.
And my you know, my daughter, I'm grooming her, so we'll see we'll see what she wants to be. You know, I'm not forcing her or anything. Whatever she likes doing right now, I'm just trying to make sure she can do it.
Right.
Because you never know what she'll end up liking. You know.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you was 5 years old and you was beating on those drums, man. She's 10. Yeah. So what is she over there beating on? Like, what do you see her going for?
She's learning the violin right now.
Okay.
So I'm trying to just get her, like, you know, into playing instruments and things like that. But she really loves art. So she loves to draw and paint. So we got a whole setup with her, whole art station for her. She's really good at it too. So I was like, you never know, you know.
You never know. Because I mean, everything that you're doing is all art. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Still falling under the tree.
Right.
You know? And I'm glad that you brought up art, because one of the things that I had started to do during this pandemic to keep me sane, I started painting. So that brings me to my next question. Yeah, man, that painting is so therapeutic for me. So it really did help. Now I want to know, what did you and your family do to keep you guys sane? Because this pandemic, we thought we were going to stay in the house for what? A couple weeks? Maybe a month? We a year in here, okay?
They started off with 2 weeks. Yo, give it 2 weeks. So 2 weeks was like, okay, cool, we can do 2 weeks. Like, that's nothing. Then, like you said, like, it got to like a month here, another month. So we ended up remodeling our whole house.
Yes.
Like every single room got remodeled.
Yeah. I can agree. I did my backyard. I put a fire pit back there.
Yeah.
I was just doing, I'm not even a gardener at all. It's not in my blood. And I'm back there trying to do weeds. Anything to keep myself sane. So I get you, man. Remodel the house was a great idea.
I mean, we wanted to, but we just didn't have the time. I was like, okay, well, they literally shut down. It was a point where they shut down my studio. Like I couldn't even go to the studio.
Yeah.
It was like they put signs on the door. So literally was stuck at home, and any music work I was doing was because I had a little remote set up, but that was about it. We just went to work. Luckily, they didn't close Home Depot, you know.
I promise you, I'm so glad they did not do that either. And 2020 was one hell of a year, okay? Not only did we have the pandemic, aka the scamdemic from what I hear, we also had riots, we had protests, we had police brutality, we had Trump. We had a lot in 2020, you know? Yeah. And so having to go through all of that and still remain safe, how did you make sure that your family, outside of remodeling the house, like how did you just make sure that their mental well-being is good, spiritually, financially?
Yeah, we got involved like with the whole like all of the marches and stuff. Like we got involved. We went on a few marches. To my daughters, I got pictures of her on my Facebook page of being on one of my friend's shoulders and she holding up her little fist, like she's out there 9 years old. And she even led a chant one time. I was like, she was dead serious, like, cause she knew like these kids ain't stupid. Like they know what's going on. Like she knew exactly what was going on. She knew exactly why she was there with us. So we just kept we stayed involved with all that, you know, and trying to help make this change a real thing and ongoing thing, not something that's just going to disappear. Like we've seen that before, you know what I mean? We had our things in the 90s too, and nothing really happened to change, you know? So we want to make this one stick. Yeah. And I think just being involved, that was big for my family. It was big for them to be involved with that because it was different. This one was different. We was out there on these marches and, sometimes it wasn't a lot of Black people out there with us. It was mostly, and we surrounded all these white people saying Black Lives Matter. Like, it was freaky. I'm like, what? Yeah. Yeah. But it was a real thing, and it was a serious thing. You know, we was out here on the same streets that I drive up every day marching. So it was powerful, man. And it was a good way to also, like, you know, I don't know if I necessarily want to introduce my, at that time, 9-year-old daughter to stuff like that, but I also I don't want to hide it from her either, because I'm that type of parent too, where like I act myself around everybody, you know. I don't act different around her. I don't act different around nobody. Like I act myself. So I wanted her to see that if I was involved with it, if she asked me, can I go? I was like, yep. You can go. You know, I got a little flack from that from people. You taking your daughter out there? It's like, bro, like if you think I'm gonna let anything happen to her, you don't know me. So just talk. I don't care. But it was a great experience for her, and she got to understand who she was, even at 9 years old, as a little young Black girl living in America. You know.
Absolutely. So. And then, you know, it's a good thing that you're not keeping it from her, but it's kind of sort of sad that they even have to worry and think about things like that, you know. Yep. And then you having your one and only Black son. Yeah. You know, you think about things like that because you're already born with 2 stripes. You're Black and you're male. Facts. So you have to speak up. And, you know, I definitely give you kudos for being such an awesome father, being very hands-on in every aspect with your children. Because a lot of these kids out here are missing that piece of their family puzzle, you know. So
that's a real thing. You know, I did too. So I knew what that was like, you know. And I'll tell my kids, look, I'm not perfect and I'm far from it. I'm definitely not gonna be doing everything right. But as long as you know that I love you and I'm gonna try my hardest.
Yeah.
You know, I think when you become my age, I'm 46 now. When you become my age, you can look back on that and appreciate it. You know, because a lot of things you're not even gonna appreciate right now because you're too young to. You still caught up in trying to figure out who you are. And I was like that too, so I get it. You know, you want to blame everything on your parents when you that
everything.
age. That's they're easy to pick on, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Until you grown and you got your own family, you got your own bills you got to pay, you got your own kids that you're responsible for. Then you like, oh, I get it.
Yes.
It's clicked. I get it.
Yes. Like it took me a long time, Mama, but I got it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you sharing your family experience with us and everything that you guys have been doing during this pandemic. But now we want to get into a little bit more about your other passion. You know what I'm talking about?
What's that?
Health.
Oh, man.
Health.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you are one healthy man and you focus on health, which I probably should do more of. Don't judge. You know, I'm working on it. I'm a work in progress.
There you go. That's all you can do. Work on it.
Absolutely. I want to read one of your quotes, okay? And let's talk about it. It said, to me, age is just a number used to measure where you should be in your life stage and not a measure for how old or young you should look. The human body is amazing and it does exactly what you train it to do. Man, I read that and I was like, okay.
It's a real thing.
Like, yeah, because a lot of people gauge it on how they look as far as with your ages, but it's like your body can be what you need it to be.
Yep.
So tell me what made you start, you know, being this healthy guy? Because I mean,
you know, I've been an athlete my whole life, and it got to a point where I would probably say around the year maybe 2005, I started slacking a little bit, and I looked in the mirror and I was like, "Yo, where my six pack go? Like it's gone." And that's all it took. That's all it took. And I was like, "Yo, okay, I gotta do something different." And then I started. I just started like listening to my body more. And then I came to figure out that I couldn't drink milk because I used to love to drink milk. So I had to stop drinking milk. And then I just tested out I started with the diet because that was the hardest thing. And I always heard that. Changing that diet is the hardest thing to do. Me and my wife did it together too. So it was a mutual thing, which made it easier. Because I know sometimes in some households, it may be one person that started, but you can't. If the kitchen full of stuff, you see it.
Yeah.
You're gonna eat it. Like, so we cleaned out our whole kitchen, all the cabinets, and really just started trying to test what foods we could and can't eat.
Okay.
First, to see what we were and weren't allergic to. Because a lot of people don't do that. A lot of us Black people in general, we shouldn't be drinking milk. Most of us are allergic to it.
Yeah.
It's because we can't break down the enzymes.
Yeah.
In milk. So
is that why people say they lactose intolerant? Because
that's exactly why they can't break down the enzymes.
And that's targeted towards the Black people, though.
In general, it is more so. I don't know why. Like, it's the same reason for a lot of different vaccinations. Like, a lot of Black people can't take that. A lot of other people can't. But I don't know the reasons behind it. But I just know that it's definitely a thing.
Yeah.
And for me,
I agree with you because at first I used to be able to drink milk and things like that when I was younger, but now when I get older, I'm like, I can't really tolerate it like that.
Yeah, so it makes you bloated. Like, it makes you bloated and like feel weird. Like, and that's the first sign. Any food you eat, if it makes you feel weird, you stop eating it. You don't eat it no more.
I had to stop eating pork. And I didn't even realize it until when I tried to go back to it, my head got tight. I said, no food should make you feel like that. It should not make you feel like that. So and the older people are like, I've been eating pork all my life and I'm still here. I'm 88 years old. Well, that worked for you. It ain't working for me.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. So what is some other healthy tips that you can share with us? We know we should stay away from the milk. I got that. Check.
Yep. And I would just say like test out what foods you can eat first, because everybody's body is different. So everybody react different to different foods. So find out what works for you on the food side.
Okay.
And then you just have to make like I work out every day, but you don't have to. Like that's just because I love working out. But you don't have to be healthy and to look the way you want to look. You can work out 3 days a week, as long as the diet is the most important part, to be real.
Yeah.
Like as long as you got your diet on point. Like for instance, my wife, she works out maybe twice a week, but she looks like she works out every day because she also does a fasting diet type of thing where she doesn't eat between certain hours of the day.
But it really works.
And it works for her. I tried it, it didn't work for me. I was like, yo, I gotta eat something or die. So that's why I said everybody's body's different, so you got to figure out what worked for you. And if it worked for you, like ride it. And then you'll start noticing the results that you want. Like even with different workouts, like some people can't do certain workouts just because their body won't let them yet. Maybe they have an old injury or something like that. But certain type of workouts, like for me, I do workouts that prevent injury and workouts that heal injuries.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so people be looking at me crazy sometimes, the workouts that I do, because they're different. They're not the same. I don't just get on the weight bench and start lifting weight. Like I don't do that. Like I do different type of workouts because they work for me, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. So one tip, I'm gonna give you one tip that anybody can do. And this is if you have bad knees.
I know, you heard me say that.
You got bad knees. When you work out, start walking backwards or running backwards.
Walking backwards and running backwards.
Even on the treadmill, walk backwards for 15 minutes.
What about the elliptical? Because that is the hardest.
As long as you're walking backwards on it, you want to walk backwards. So that actually strengthens your knees in a different way, so that when you start running forward, you won't feel the knee pains.
Wow.
And I'm a testament to that. I played basketball pretty much my whole life. So I've had all types of knee. I have 2 knee surgeries. Like I had all of that. And now like I have 0 knee pain.
Wow.
And that's just starting. Yeah, but try it. See if it works for you.
One thing that I discovered during the whole pandemic was yoga. That changed my life. Yoga and meditation. Good stuff.
Yo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yoga is the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm not 100% sure because I was never tested, but I believe I may have had COVID, right? I was having a hard time breathing. I couldn't understand why. And I tried to Google, like, what the heck can I do, right? So somebody told me to try yoga. And I promise you, once I started to do the yoga, and it was only for a few days, I ain't gonna lie, I started to feel better because it makes you focus on your breathing and things like that. So I definitely agree that yoga is something that you should try out for sure.
Your breathing heals your body. It's crazy. I actually, when I first tried yoga, I made a mistake and I hopped into the wrong class. I hopped into a class that was not meant for me. It was meant for people that have been doing this already for a long time. And I got in there. I was, because I stretch a lot now, but I didn't before I started doing that yoga. I thought, okay, I'm gonna do yoga so I can get flexible. That was the wrong class. You got to start in the beginning yoga class and work your way up.
Yeah.
Because that turned me off. I was like, yo, I did that. And I didn't know for like 2 weeks. And then somebody told me, why you go to that class? That's like the top class. I was like, oh, because I was like, I quit yoga. I was like, that ain't for me. I can't do it. I'm going to do something different that I can do. But then I ended up going to a regular beginning class. And I stuck with that one for a while. But I do like a bunch of different stretches that are yoga based every day, every single day.
It's good stuff. It really is. I do it twice a day. I do it in the morning and I do it again before bed. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I wish I would have done all this stuff in my 20s, to be real. I felt like I didn't need to because I could just hop on a basketball court without stretching and it'd be good. Like, And I wish if I was stretching and all that, then I wouldn't have had all the injuries I had.
Mm-hmm.
So wait,
I was a knucklehead.
Wait, Will, were you doing all this music stuff in high school though?
In high school, I was a DJ.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I DJ'd for one of my homies and one of my cousins that were rappers.
Oh, okay.
You remember Odie?
Mm-mm.
James Jones? You might, yeah. Then my other cousin, Jimmy Pruitt. So they were like rapping, and then he done big things too on the rap side. But yeah, I started there just as a DJ in high school.
Okay.
That's cool.
I graduated in '92.
Okay. Yeah, I graduated in '91.
Yep, I remember.
Were you playing basketball?
Yeah, I play ball. I play basketball, football, baseball.
Okay. Yeah, I remember baseball.
I play more basketball at Fleetwood.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Just all around town, huh? Just all over the place.
You know what? I would say for sports, I got better after high school. I got better in college.
Mm.
Yeah.
Did you just stick to basketball in college, or you did all the other ones too?
No, I just stuck to basketball in college.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to Northwestern, and then I started there, and then I ended up going to Rockford University down in Rockford. Okay. And graduated from there.
Okay. When's the last time you've been back to Evanston?
About 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Okay.
Come on,
it's different.
No.
Everything different.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. You still got a lot of family out here?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you the only one that left and went to LA?
No, I ain't the only to LA, yeah, but I ain't the only one that left. Like I said, I got a lot of people that went to so my mom, she moved to Oklahoma, to OKC, and my brothers moved down there too. And I got a lot of family that moved down to Atlanta. But then
family in LA?
I got a couple cousins. Yeah, I got a couple cousins out here.
Okay.
But yeah, my whole mom's side of my family, they still in Chicago.
Okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
I have a brother. He lives in Corona.
Okay, that ain't that far from here.
Yeah, his wife, however, is an LAPD detective.
Okay. She got a good job.
Yes.
They pay them good out here.
You said what?
They pay the cops good out here.
I bet. Yeah. Well, that's cool. I mean, we have the snow, but you guys got forest fires and earthquakes. I don't know. I don't know if I want to deal with that.
Well, it's nothing to really deal with. I can tell you. Like, so the fires, hardly every time y'all see them on the news, most of the time y'all hear about them before we do. Because they way out, they're in the forest. Like we don't, there's no forest over here. So, but sometimes, like on the K, I would probably say maybe 2 or 3 times since I've been living here 20 years now. Wow. There have been some that got close, but still not dangerous enough where it was like near my house and nothing, but I could see the smoke, you know what I mean? But and the earthquakes, the last 2 I slept through. I didn't even know we had them. We had one that actually scared me, and that was it. Since I've been here in 20 years, we had one that actually scared me because I was in my studio and everything just started shaking. I was like, oh, that's an earthquake. And then I said, okay, I'm gonna get out the building. But the problem with it is it kept going. So this earthquake lasted for a whole minute.
Wow.
And that was the scary part, because then you just wait for something to happen. You wait for something to break or fall, but luckily nothing did. But that one, I was like, that one got me.
Yeah, see, they used to have us do the earthquake drills when we were in school. I'm like, we ain't gonna have no earthquake, but they did it for people like you who went to LA. That's what they did. Because we don't have to worry about that.
Did y'all know that LA is not the earthquake capital of the United States?
Well, that's where you are.
It's not. It's not the earthquake capital.
It's not the earthquake.
Who is?
Well, what is?
Earthquake capital is in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Because of fracking.
Because of who? What?
Fracking.
Ah, what is that?
Yep. That's when they drilling. They drilling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is that? Not to ask for myself, but when other people are watching.
Yeah, I got you. Yep.
Absolutely. But I definitely do not want to let you go until we get a little bit more on your health tips.
I want to hear some of his music. That's what I want to hear.
Oh, you want to hear? Are you going to play some right now?
Oh, I know. Let me see if I got some on here.
I know, right? Marva, she does that. She catch you off guard and be like, yeah, let's do that. So now you got to get it going. I was going to ask you to do one of your workouts, but I think I like the music. I did better.
Or show us that 12 pack.
Yes, right.
I think it's more like a 16 pack.
Okay. Just let me borrow 8 pack.
We working on that.
I'm just trying to get at least 1 pack.
I said, let me just borrow an 8 pack. We'll be fine.
You know, I'll tell you this, like moving to LA, the diet is a lot easier to have here.
Really?
Than when I was back at home. There's just too much good food back at home. So it's too many temptations to eat good. And the good food ain't healthy.
That's true.
Like Harold's is right up the street. Like Harold's, it's hard to turn down Harold's when somebody, especially somebody else paying for it. Like, yo, you want to come to Harold's? I got you, bro. Like, come on. I'm not gonna turn it down. Sorry. Like,
just had it last night.
It's hard. It's hard to do. So that's a fact. So it's way easier out here. I know that. But once you get into the habit and make it part of your lifestyle, then it's easy. Because we still got that food out here too, that type of food, but it's not part of my lifestyle no more. If I even try to eat like that now, I get sick.
That's why I want to know, what do you eat? Like, run me through your day, because I need some help.
I eat the same thing almost. Not every day, but throughout the weeks. I eat the same thing. So I eat spinach every day. And I saute my spinach. I saute it every single day. I have spinach. I eat a lot of salmon. I eat salmon probably 2 or 3 times a week.
And, Bill, you remember Amy Johnson?
Yeah.
She says hello.
What's up, Amy?
Yep. Live here. Hey, Amy.
Hey, Amy girl.
Yep. So I eat the same diet. I eat a lot of vegan food, but I still eat meat. I'm not vegan, because I still eat meat. So I eat a lot of chicken breasts, but I eat a lot of vegan food because they don't have a lot of dairy. There's no dairy, so
yeah,
it's safe to eat. But I still can't eat all vegan food because some of it still give me like it won't agree with my body.
Yeah, that's what you say. You gotta learn that body.
Gotta learn it.
Yeah. I appreciate you sharing that with us, man. But I know Barbara is itching for some listening, so let's play some of your music today.
How do I do that on here? Because I'm on my phone.
I don't know. Can you play it while you still? I don't know. Can you bring it up while you're still on the Zoom, or do you have it?
Let's see. Let me try. I ain't gonna log off, so let me see. Okay. I might disappear for a second.
Okay. Yeah, we remember how you look. It's okay. And while he's doing that, everyone who's watching me, feel free to ask any questions, comments, concerns, hellos, farewells, whatever you want to say. Me and Barbara would love to talk to you guys, and she will read them off to us, and we can talk right now live, okay? Because we are on the scene. You hear me?
Right.
Yes.
All right. Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you.
We can hear you.
All right, so this is a song I'm gonna play. It's called "Good Life," and this song I actually just did like not too long ago, and it happened right around the attempted insurrection. So it was just something I was feeling at the time. So it's about it's like a social song. Let me see if y'all can hear it. Hopefully it play. I'm gonna play it now. Can y'all hear that?
No.
Oh man. Hold on 1 second. Let me see. Hold on, I got another way. Hold on a second.
Okay.
My dog wanted to give an appearance.
Oh, mine's over here laying on the couch. Well, what kind of dog is that?
Yeah.
What kind of dog is that?
It's a Shih Tzu.
Oh, I have a Bishi-Poo. Oh, is that a boy?
Yes.
What's his name?
Bubba. Bubba. Hey, hi, Bubba. Yeah.
Mine's over there laid out.
Yeah, he won't leave me alone.
Oh, he's being good.
Yes. Absolutely.
He wants attention. That's what they do.
Yes, that's all it is. He's gonna knock the camera down.
Mm-hmm.
I had a friend who painted this picture of him that's right here behind me. It's pretty bad. Yes.
So cute.
But yeah, man, this has been awesome.
Yes.
Yes, and
close out with some music.
yes, and then coming up later, we got a double whammy.
Yeah.
For your peoples. We have Michael and Shavon Ballard coming up, you guys. It's going to be a great interview.
And Will is looking dope in his On the Scene t-shirt.
Ain't he?
Mm-hmm.
He is.
All right, I think I got it.
Yes.
I think I got it. Here we go. See if y'all hopefully can hear it. I hear that?
Yep.
Turn it up.
You turned it up?
Turn it up.
All I want is a good life. All I want is a good life. All I want is destruction. All I want is destruction. All I want is a good life. All I want is a good life. All I want is destruction. All I want is destruction. Everything ain't parallel. Going round on a carousel. All his energy rushing. Just to end up with nothing. Hope can be so two-faced. Tears falling from a blue face. Holding breath till a new shape. What's freedom to a plea case? Proud boy, such a disgrace. Proud of what, not this place. Triple K's on your display. Don't you bring that shit this way? Corruption bleeding out their fingertips. Loopholes for the 1%. They out here got the double blushing. For the first time I heard God cussing. All I want is a good life. All I want is a good life.
Hey, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Chiquita says, where can we find your music?
Apple Music, Spotify, everywhere online. This search under my artist name is The Vill, THAVILL.
Is it on your website too?
Yep, on thevill.com.
Theveil.com. Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
And that song I just played, is the link is on my Instagram page. And that's I_am_the_Vill on IG.
All I want is a good life.
It's theveil.com. That's right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
THAVILL.com.
That's it.
Which I checked out, by the way. I love your website.
Oh, thank you.
It's a nice website.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Website. All right. Perfect.
Then my business website for all of my TV film stuff is gotvillepublishing.com.
Okay. I'm gonna put all this stuff in the comments so people can.
Yes. And again, if you all have any comments for Mr. Will Fuller, aka The Vill, you can definitely drop them in the comments below. And Marbra is going to read them, and we're going to make sure we talk to each and every last one of you guys who has comments. Okay. But before we go, because we just listened to that amazing song. What was the name of that song?
Called Good Life.
Good life.
Yes. All I want is the good life. Okay. I was feeling that. All right. One of your quotes, you know, I love reading your quotes, right? You say, we all have a purpose. Finding it is part of our journey. It's like a fingerprint. Everyone is different. When you find it, embrace it, and love it. I think you have definitely lived by those words. And you have been such an inspiration to me, and I know to others. And I have enjoyed talking to you tremendously. What about you, Mara? I mean, he's amazing.
I have not seen Will since high school, so this is
I know, man.
on Facebook, and then I saw like all the stuff he was doing. I was like, oh my god! Like I didn't know. I had no clue. Like, he is out there doing big things, you know.
Yeah, I was a quiet one in high school.
Yeah, that's the thing, Mark. He was so quiet. That's why I didn't know he was doing it. You know, I knew he played sport, but he was very quiet. And look at him.
It's always the quiet ones. Always the quiet ones.
Yeah.
Silent assassins. I'm out just whipping out all those talents on us.
Exactly. So proud of you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank y'all.
And definitely
proud of you when I come to LA.
You said what?
I'm gonna come look for you when I come to LA.
Oh yeah, let's go.
I have never been to LA. Nope.
You got to come when it's cold there.
Yes, I am coming
every day.
Yeah.
I feel like it's cold every day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So again, just one more time, Mr. Will, let everybody know how they can find you.
Yes, all your platforms.
Yep, you can find me on IG, on Instagram at I_am_the_Ville. You can find me on Twitter at The Ville. You can find me on Facebook at The Ville. Or if you know me, you can look up my real name.
Will.
Yep. And then my website, theville.com. And for business purposes, gotvillepublishing.com. Any one of them sites, I'm active on all of them. So if you reach out, I'll reach back.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure, my brother. And you're gonna have me on Netflix right now, like, yep, you did that one. No,
hey, I was in a movie called The Preacher's Son by Tridestin. It was on Netflix. I don't know what happened. Somebody told me that they went and looked for it. It wasn't on there no more, but it's called The Preacher's Son.
What role did you play?
I played a friend of like a dude that was outside of a dope house. But I was his friend. Mm-hmm. And I was like the neighborhood guy that saw everything happening. So I was that dude.
Okay. Nice.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, is that the only acting you've done?
No, I've done some other stuff, but nothing major as far as the acting thing. No, it's just always been fun for me. I'm in LA, so I was just like, if I got asked, I was like, that I'm in, you know. So but music is my thing.
Mm-hmm.
You said what?
The animation stuff that you did was voiceover for you?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Most of the animation work that I do, I write a lot of it, but I also perform a lot of it. Oh. So in the music industry, that's called doubling up because I'm SAG-AFTRA. Okay. So I get voiceover work.
That was my next question. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you send me the animation stuff so I can see it?
Yeah, I send you. Yeah. I send you.
I'm gonna post some of that stuff in the group, and please feel free to post and share on the group page.
All right, bet.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. It was great talking to you.
You too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for having me.
Definitely.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah. Talk to you soon.
All right.
All right.
That was fun.
Oh my God. That was awesome. Yeah, like he was so quiet. He was so quiet in high school. I never knew. Now he's an Emmy nominated, all blown up in LA.
Yeah. Yep, and not like seeing a man doing what he got to do. He's had a successful career, a great family. He's a good father, and he's healthy. I mean,
oh yeah,
all around great.
And it's amazing that how he can, balance that with his family life, and because he's busy. I know he's busy.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Oh,
I know. He said he wants to interview next. I don't know.
It's like my turn.
My turn. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so I know we have another guest coming on a little later.
They're coming on in a few minutes. I just told them they can come on and chime on in. Mr. Michael and Shavon.
Yes, the Ballards.
Yeah.
You know, the Ballards.
A great opportunity to work with them.
Yeah. You say you did?
I did. Yeah.
Awesome.
I played a nurse in a film that they did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I was it's called Friends, Family, and Lovers. So I played a nurse.
Oh, that's their film.
Yeah, it was good. I hated that I missed the premiere. But yeah, I still was able to check it out. I was going to share a clip from it today as my flashback Friday, but didn't get around to it. So, girl, yes, you have got to continue with the yoga. It is so good. Girl, I do it.
Can't make no promise. I can't make no promise.
I did the same thing that he did. I had got a yoga DVD, tried out, like, okay, that's it. And then I came back to it, and it's like, it hits really, because you don't have back problems. Back problems and a shoulder, and it's great. My trainer teaches it. Yeah, so I do it in the morning to get my day started, and then I do it like an hour before bed. Change my life. It helps you lose weight too.
Yeah. Well, I know it has a lot of great benefits that comes with it. If I'm going to be real with myself, I don't know if I have discipline, self-discipline that is required to make this a successful journey. Like I told you, when I did do it, it was literally for a few days, and I did feel a difference. Like, honestly, I did for a couple of days, but my self-discipline.
Just stick with it. It's awesome. It is awesome.
But they say it takes 21 days to make it a habit, so
it took me a
maybe I can commit to 21 days.
I was sore too. When I first started, I was like, I don't know. But then as you get with it. Yeah.
But I miss being on set, girl. I know.
Girl, tell me about it.
Yeah, I know they still have, they're doing some more castings now, but it's just not as much as it used to be.
Yeah. And then the constant testing.
Yeah.
And Power's here.
Yeah. Yes, right? Let's do it.
I talk to my agents, I'm like, Power's here.
Yes.
I need an audition.
Yeah, absolutely. You can do it too, girl.
I'm trying. I did get a check availability for, I think it was a pedestrian, with my car.
Okay.
I don't do the pedestrians.
Yeah, those some long days, baby. Long days on set. But you know what? I low key miss it, so I think I'm ready to get back. Ready to go back.
I am.
But it's like you just have to be so careful with everything that's going on.
Are you going to get the vaccine?
I knew he was going to ask me that. I was going to ask you that first. I don't know. You're not getting it?
Nope.
Is there an option for you, being that you're a nurse? Oh.
Yep. Because it's not mandatory right now. They probably will eventually. Okay, here comes Mr. Ballard.
Okay.
No. I don't think they've, I just wish it's so rushed. It hasn't been tested long enough. I'm just not a fan. Even the flu shot. I got it once last year.
Yeah.
For the first time. I'm good. I didn't. No. Nope. I just feel if you eat right, take care of your body, you'll be fine. Well, hello there. The Ballards.
The Ballards. How are you?
Hello there.
Doing great. How you ladies doing?
We're good. We're good. How you guys doing?
Amazing. We're doing great. Getting settled in down here in South Beach, Miami, just enjoying the sunshine.
Guys, with all y'all sunshine, we got like 10 inches of snow out here.
Oh no. Yeah, stay warm.
Oh, y'all need to send some of that heat. What's your weather there right now?
I think it's about 72-ish. We'll see you in care package in the sunshine.
Oh my God. We are in the teens here, and it's gonna be worse next week.
Oh no.
Yeah.
The wind chill was like below zero, right? The wind chill was like below zero.
Yes. Yeah, it's rough. Yeah, we've been there our whole lives before moving here, so we know exactly what y'all going through.
Yeah, man. But I was just in Miami not too long ago, so at least I got a little sun in between. So that's good.
That's nice.
Yeah. Well, we're glad that you all were able to join us today.
Welcome.
Yes, I know you guys are an amazing couple, and we're gonna dig into all of that goodness that you got oozing out of there. So, excuse me if you see my dog jumping on me. He wants some attention.
Yes, they get jealous. They really do.
They do, and he doesn't want me to talk to you guys right now. But that's not gonna happen. Absolutely. So for those who are watching and who do not know who these lovely individuals are who just joined us right now, we have Michael and Shavon Ballard. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yes. A little fun fact. Your first name is my middle name.
Oh, wow.
Spelled exactly the same. Shavon.
You know what's a funny fact? Shavon is actually my middle name.
Oh,
so my name is Nicole Shavon Ballard.
Marquita Shavon Spears.
I love it.
Yeah. See, we already got a bonding experience with us. I'm loving it. All right. So for those of you, we're going to give you a little background of these two lovely individuals. Okay. So Michael Ballard has a background in youth and family counseling from Youth Outreach Services. He also has a background in corporate management from AT&T, working there for over 17 years. He's currently a licensed pastor and a content creator. They combine 25 years of experience dealing with failed relationships, domestic violence, broken marriages, and blended families. With their marriage being tested and filing for divorce, they leaned on their faith and scientific research to breathe new life back into their marriage. With a newfound understanding of the power and benefits of marriage, they're on a personal mission to save relationships and families from going through the hurt and pain they have endured. So yes, that is a lot, and I cannot wait to get into it with you guys. So how are you feeling today?
I'm sorry, you break up. What'd you say?
How are you feeling today?
Hey, you know what, you guys, it's time to rock and roll. Like I told Marva, I said, we're an hour ahead of you guys, so, we have a little one. So I said,
yeah,
I've been here 4 months. Yeah, so, I was like, we an hour. I was like, I got to get our bedtimes to line up. Because, you have a newborn, it's a whole different situation.
Yep.
Yeah, you said 4 months?
Yeah.
4 months old. He just made 4 months old yesterday.
Yeah, he just went to sleep. It was rough before you guys called trying to get these times up there, but,
Okay.
We're going to work it out.
Awesome. So how you all know each other, Mabra and the Ballards? How'd you guys know each other?
Well, I've always known of them because Mr. Ballard and Shavon, they're filmmakers too.
Yeah.
I was in one of their films recently. I hated that I missed the premiere, but yeah, I played a nurse that was taking care of the beautiful Shavon.
Oh.
So, yeah.
I take you was pregnant.
Huh?
No, at the time.
No. No.
Right, she played our nurse. I thought you met her. You met Margaret. I think that's how my wife met.
So we had a scene where it was the hospital scene for a feature film my husband wrote called Friends, Family, Lovers. It's a dramedy. Check it out. And the nurse that was casted for that scene didn't show up. And it was critical that we got the scene shot because we had the space. We had access to a clinical portion of a school for a very limited amount of hours. And the original nurse canceled at the last minute. So we put out a posting and Barbara showed up, uniform in hand, ready to rock and roll. She came in, she dropped her lines and made magic happen. And it's been a connection ever since.
Yes, I love it. I love it. She has that ability to just draw you in. You just have to love her. You have to. Yeah.
Yes.
Say that one more time.
Oh, I was just saying how much we love Marva, that she's the best. And she definitely absolutely came through and she did an amazing job.
Yes,
right.
yes, she's awesome. Well, let's get into it, you guys, about what it is you do. So if you all can give a little background into who you are, what it is that you do, so that people can get a better understanding of what we're here for.
Okay, well, we've been, I've been doing film for about 18 years. So just production. Just really wanted to create more content for Black people, because the industry, it's one thing to talk about something, it's another thing to be a part of change. And so I wanted to do that. I wanted to create some content that was not just for us, but can tell stories that, wasn't being told. So, I learned how to do that over 17 years ago, just working at AT&T, doing corporate videos and training. So I took those skills and I started my first company with a young man, one of the coworkers, and then we ended up, of course, everybody can't go with you on your journey, and so we had to part ways. And then that's kind of how we met, was on the set of a video that she did over 17 years ago. And we did a music video, and then when we did a short film, we ended up running each other by accident, and we just stayed friends from there. But and that's, I started in animation, worked my way to just doing more inspirational projects and films and TV shows. I probably had about 20 projects that I've done. And then I ended up in 2018, I got a chance to work for Master P and Cold World. I got the hookup too, and about 8 other projects under his company. And again, you can't take everybody with you. And so now I've learned to just create my own content because it's less of a battle when you have to deal with so many personalities and people. And, everybody that starts with you and they say they want to do something with you, it's very, in this world, it's definitely difficult sometimes to stay on a path with people that you start with. And sometimes you start to find yourself just, they, grow up and you hear good help is hard to find, but it's people. Good people are hard to find. So we decided to create our own company and do our own work and do our own projects. So, we're working with films right now with different networks that'll be coming out at the end of the year. And it's just been, a blessing. And that's kind of the film journey of our life. What about you?
Yes. So my background, it really was deeply intertwined with Mr. Ballard. My modeling career started in about 2005, 2006. Back in that era, it was a lot different. We didn't have access to social media in the way that we have it today and YouTube. So it was difficult if you wanted to get into acting. But, I kept with the modeling for some time. And years later, about 2008, I was working for a chiropractor. So I'm sorry, let me backtrack a little bit. 2007, sorry, 2007. I was modeling with a record label called Fam City Records. So we were doing a music video. He actually produced it. I didn't know him. We didn't even formally introduce ourselves to each other. I was just a model in the background, you know, doing my job. So then we fast forward to 2009, actually. I was working for a chiropractor, and I was doing back checkups for patients at Walgreens. And a gentleman approached me and says, "You have a very interesting look. You know what? You should come out and audition for this movie we're filming." I'm like, yeah, I've always wanted to do acting, never had a way in. So I showed up to audition and got the role. It was my first acting role. It was so fun. And I just absolutely fell in love with acting from that point. And I just continued to stay in touch with Michael from that point. We did lots of projects together. And that just really helped me jumpstart my career as an actress. So I've been doing that. I've done feature films. I've done comedic skits. I've done a whole genre of different types of productions. Now, what made Friends, Family, and Lovers so near and dear to my heart, this was the first project or production that I ever had a full behind the scenes view of from beginning to end. It was my first producer credit, so that was a major deal for me. And yeah, so I earned my producer's hat and just continuing to push from there. So now with our relationship coaching company, we have Coach My Love TV. We are providing entertainment. We have our YouTube channel that we've launched and just doing content and just building and building from there.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So you guys are pretty much a match made in heaven. A match made in acting and film. Like, I think you two mesh very well with each other. The passion is lined up and everything. And you were saying that you guys have a Coach My Love. Is that that's a YouTube channel, or what is that exactly?
Well, it's our I've been doing counseling for about 2014. And we started a company back then called the Marriage Doctors. And so we met through counseling. I've always had a passion for helping people. So we started with I've been doing this for a long time. Even when I met her through counseling. At the time, she needed some help with her ex situation when she was married, and she came and I was kind of helping her with that. So God has always put this passion to help families. I've always had a desire to understand relationships. So we went from the Marriage Doctors to Coach My Love in 2016, and about 4 years of just developing understanding relationships, I would say, which is very difficult and complicated thing to really, no one really can master that. It's impossible. You can just do the best you can with understanding and learning and growing. And that's what the journey we've been on really is, taking us to help people figure out people, which is the most complicated animals and beings in the world. And then you put those two people together in a relationship. It's a very interesting, and it's like brain surgery. It's so many parts to try to make something work, and to stay there for a lifetime in the journey. And so that's the journey we're on right now, is to help people to try to do the very best we can to last a lifetime. It's a lot of brokenness, families, and singleness, and hurting, and toxic relationships. And, I mean, it's a world out there that's scary. People. And we're trying to do our very best to help alleviate some of it. And that's a huge, huge mission all by itself, because people are complicated just as a whole.
Yeah.
Even if you're single, it's complicated, There's times with single people, they want to be in a relationship, but they don't want to be in a relationship. You know, it's like we're, you know, and trying to, and then you put that person with another person, and you got histories and past, and people don't know what the heck they're doing. Trying to make, and they just keep having babies. It's a crazy situation out there, man. And we're doing the best we can to help people. So that's what Coach My Love is about.
And that's awesome, because you know what? Like you said, it's so many different people out here struggling with love, struggling with their singleness, struggling in their marriage, you know, and a lot of people don't understand that marriage is very difficult sometimes. You know, TV sometimes make it look all peachy cream, beautiful thing, right? That you marry, but it takes a lot of work.
Oh, yeah. A lot of education.
Yes, lots of education,
and a lot of self-awareness. But we have some amazing tools and understanding to really, and we like to walk with people hands and just walk with them on this journey, because it's a constant growing. And I think a lot of times people feel like, you know, it's like school, right? You go to school, you do your 4 years, or you do your, and that's it. But that's not life with marriage, because it changes. Ages, pandemics, economics, it keeps changing us. Media influence, it keeps changing us. What we like today, we don't like tomorrow. You know, it's like we got so crazy. And I'll be like, you know, how do we manage? Because we all have we all have a level of toxicness to us. We all do. I don't care who you are. But the goal is to manage it and to get it down to what I call the 80-20, where 80% functional with a 20% toxic rate. And how do you manage your 20%? Because it's never going to go away. You're never going to get rid of your 20% because it's ingrained in us. And I try to teach people, how do we manage it? And then you put that with another human being, and then you say, let's become one.
I want to share that I'm actually a domestic violence survivor and advocate. So that's definitely something unique that I bring to the company, is narcissistic abuse awareness. Because a lot of people, men and women, are not aware of this epidemic of narcissistic abuse that's taking place and how it's affecting our children, our health, and future generations, and just every level of life. So we're very adamant on that, not just supplying them with information on how to have and build happy, healthy relationships, but those red flags to look out for in relationships. Because I have coached people who have been in serial narcissistic abusive relationships. And each time we're not aware that here's another narcissist. You won't know these things until you're already in this relationship with the person. However, if you are educated for the signs to look out for and those patterns that differentiate the normal progression of a relationship, and y'all just having a disagreement versus this is abuse, and abuse is bigger than a black eye. You don't have to have a black eye for it to be abusive. That's my specialty, and that's where I come in with that side of Coach My Love, and making sure that we educate people on toxic traits.
Absolutely. And that is amazing. That is amazing, because especially during this pandemic, you know, divorces, I believe, have went up. I've seen a lot of people who've gotten divorced during this pandemic. And then also domestic violence skyrocketed, you know, and it's like a lot of people need people like you who can coach them through these trials, you know. So why do you think that during a pandemic, all of this is increasing, especially domestic violence? Why do you think that is? They froze. I think we may have lost the Ballard. I really wanted to know the answer.
He'll probably be back.
Yeah, because that's, I mean, the fact that they both are doing that That is so dope, because a lot of people need that advice and that help. And I have a lot of questions regarding that. So, yeah, we lost them.
Yeah, they'll be back. Hold on.
Yeah.
But yeah, especially during this pandemic, you know.
It's a lot.
It is. It is.
But it's so cool that they both are like into the same thing. I love that about them, because you know, I think that's a big thing. You have to be compatible. I have some of the same interests, you know, because if y'all over the place, it's gonna be so hard to work through that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm glad that they're doing that. But hopefully they'll be joining us again soon. And if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please drop them in the comment below and let's talk about it.
They're back. There you are.
Hi,
there we go.
Sorry about that.
There you go.
Sorry.
Miami is a beautiful place, but it's not real good with connections at all. I don't know what about it. They figured they're gonna give you a great sunny day. You don't need Wi-Fi.
You gotta have one or the other.
At least it got your back.
Yes.
On the beach, or you can be on. Choose one.
There you go. But yeah, I was asking you guys, why do you think that during the pandemic that divorces and domestic violence has increased?
Well, because the truth of the matter is, we really.
That's Miami.
There
you go. You're back.
Now you're back.
You're back on the scene.
The devil.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
People are.
It's okay.
You know, people are very surface when it comes to all relationships. Well, I say most relationships, especially with, you know, intimate relationships. You spend most of your time either at work, going to work, getting ready for work, right? Then you come home, you running errands. You really don't spend a lot of time with each other, like really, right? Most of the time, you know, it's very surface. So when you're forced to really take a look at who these people are, you start realizing that you really don't have a lot in common. You start realizing that you really don't like each other. You know, you're forced to deal with the elephant in the room. Some of them are elephants, you know, depending on the men, you know, with their egos and, you know, pride. You know, it's like, man, you start really realizing I never really liked this person. I think a lot of people don't really give a time to process if they like someone.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the truth. Like, I don't think people really take enough time to get to really know, because you're having sex right away. You're letting your emotions and your feelings take over. You know, it's you really just don't slow down enough to really get a chance to know people, and that's a really big issue. Most people are thrown into relationships. Most people are in relationships because they're bored, or they're around people because it's like, hey, you know, familiarity relationships, just because we're in the same clique, and you know, we build relationships off of surface things. You know, you know, I tell people most of the times, if you had to sit down and imagine the person you with, if you put them, if there was a relationship lineup and they brought this person out with other people and they told you, would you choose this person again? Most people wouldn't. Most people, they wouldn't. And that's why they like, it's like working a job. You just doing your time until you retire. Most people in relationships, they be just doing time. They do what they got. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, I think that some people don't think that they can get any better. Some people think that this is just it. So when you have that, you like, man, that's why stuff is going up. That's why divorce is going up. That's why abuse is going up. Because people don't like each other. They barely like themselves.
And then you want to pair that with the fact that the stress of the pandemic as a whole, everyone losing their minds. So it's like people finances, straps. The kids are e-learning at home. It's just so much pressure, and uncertainty, and fear. And you pair that with someone who may be mentally unstable, that's bound to be a disaster waiting to happen.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I was going to say that, you know, a lot when you under so much stress and you just don't know what to do, you know, you just do what you didn't think you were going to do. And also, like you said, like when you're around somebody all the time, you're like, God dang, don't just see you, you know, so you start to get a little tired of them and things like that. So yeah, I get what both of you guys are saying. Absolutely. And as far as the domestic violence is concerned, I'm actually an advocate of it too. You know, I like to bring awareness. I've dealt with it myself. I know so a lot of people. And I actually done a documentary on domestic violence. 3 women from Chicago who survived it, and I was able to film their stories to try to get it, you know, out to the people. So I'm with you, sister. Excellent. About that.
I would love to check that out. If you could send that over to me, the information.
I got you. I will send the information over to you. And I just think it's important. And that's why I'm glad that we're here to talk to you guys, because I know everything hasn't always been peachy cream. I know in the intro you said that your marriage itself has been tested, right? Can you share with us in what way was your marriage tested and how you guys were able to overcome that and be the power couple that you are now?
Well, you know, I think the key was, the reason why I know so much about that is we don't, like I said, we really don't take the time to get to know people. We don't get the time to get to know ourselves. I think a lot of us, we hide behind work and busy work and so many things that we don't really slow down to know ourselves. Because, you know, most of the relationships I had, I never was able to slow down enough to process anything, right? I always tell people, great relationships that are powerful forces you to have to change. It forces you to have to take a real good look at yourself. Because in order for your relationship to grow, you have to grow. And in order for you have to grow, you have to admit that you need to grow. And so I've never been in a relationship where I had to admit that I needed to grow, because the other person's dysfunction was so loud. It was easy for me to focus on what was wrong with them, right? And with my relationship, my marriage, in the beginning, I was a counselor and all these things. And so after I got my wife to a certain point of growth, then I didn't realize that it was my time. And I had never had that position to say it was Michael's time, because I never thought I had a problem. But I had problems. And I did such a job getting her to a level that nobody was, when I was with, it never lasted that long. Now I was forced with the bag of, Michael, you got some issues too. And it all started coming out. But they was coming out in a way where I didn't realize I had an issue. And being self-aware is the number one key indicator of growth. If you are not aware that you have a problem, you're going to continue to clash against people. And that's what happened. I was clashing with her because I kept making it seem like she was the problem. But she wasn't. It was me, right? It was my insecurities. It was my traits that were toxic. I've never had to deal with it. And my ego and my pride was holding on, and it was bashing her because she had to be the problem. It wasn't me. And it got to the point where I was tearing her down because I was trying to make her the problem instead of facing my own problem. And it was so overwhelming that I began to become toxic and pulling out the same thing that she had been healing from. I was pulling it back out, and she was wearing down, and I just wore her down for years. I wore her down, you know. After I got her good, I started beating her back down with it because I never knew I had to do the change, and that's when it just got to the place where I was so adamant and so prideful, and so that it drove her away. And that was a breaking point when she decided to leave because of how I kept trying to push it. You know, we like when we hurt and we don't heal, we do a lot of reflecting, not reflecting, deflecting. We do a lot of deflecting, a lot of projection. And some people, you know, especially someone who's been through a domestic thing, they like, this looks like the same situation. I'm out.
Absolutely. And even having said that, I do want to preface by saying I absolutely adore this man right here. He is my heart, crazy about him. But even in the greatness of how much I felt about him in the midst of the worst of our relationship and marriage, I was simultaneously still learning how to develop my domestic violence advocate speaking voice. So when I started to acknowledge these toxic traits that he was exhibiting, I was patient with it. I didn't just throw in the flag and say, deuces, I'm out. It wasn't that. It was years and years. And once we had exhausted every possible solution and it was still going south quicker and quicker, I had to make a decision. As much as I love this man, I love myself more, and I have to. And that's why I encourage men and women in those types of situations. You have to learn how to love yourself and nurture yourself enough to know that you matter enough. Nobody above God should come before you. That's pretty much it. That's all I have to say. So I definitely applied my teaching to our marriage, and that's another, I guess, testing ground to prove to me that our methods work. And I helped many other women get out of domestic violence situations. We didn't get to the point of physicality. However, like I always say, abuse is bigger than the black eye. If there's emotional or verbal or any type of other types of abuse, it's just as bad. Because I guarantee if you're going through that, by the time it start hitting you, it won't really faze you. Yeah. Those emotional scars take so much longer to heal. Those are the pains that you remember. So we went through counseling. Once we came back together, we did lots of prayer. We created curriculums within Coach My Love. We created methods, these things called, what do we have it? The cups. Service week. We created something called Service Week, where every week we would pick a favorite out of each other's cup and just serve each other the whole week. We did couples Bible study, like we did prayer. Like he was so adamant. He'd done individual therapy. We did couples therapy. We did everything possible to rebuild, and it did not happen overnight. But using everything all together really helped us get to where we are today, which is in a happy, healthy, functional place, and we haven't backtracked ever since.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it shows that you both had to put in the work. It couldn't just be one over the other. You have to both have that same passion to make it want to work. And I see that with you guys.
You gotta want to work. That's the truth.
Right.
Yeah, both partners have to want to work. Some people try to make it work, saying, you know, I'm gonna keep putting in this effort. I'm gonna keep trying, but you're not getting that reciprocated. So it's like you're not making any progress because while he's backtracking, you trying to pull forward, you staying stagnant. So I see that both of you guys wanted it to work, and that's why you're here today, and that's why you're holding on to him. Like, I love this man. And that's how you want to feel about your mate, period.
Right.
Yeah. And that's awesome. There was something you said earlier, and I wanted to touch on that about narcissistic traits. A lot of people are not aware of these traits, and they don't even know that they're in a relationship with a narcissist most of the time because they don't know what it is. So could you tell those who are not aware what a narcissistic trait what you may see in a narcissist?
Well, first I want to just explain what a narcissistic person would be, a narcissistic trait. Some define it as a personality disorder, some don't, but basically it would be someone who has very little empathy for anyone or anything else. They are the most important person in their world. They expect to be served hand and foot and basically worshipped. Some traits usually in the beginning of the relationship, is something we call love bombing. When you first meet this person, they're everything you ever wanted. They give you so much love and affection. They put you up on this pedestal. They worship you. And then they withdraw suddenly. And it constantly leaves you clamoring to get back to that place, wanting more. Another tactic they use is called gaslighting, which is basically a manipulative technique to make you question your reality. For example, they may have made a disgusting comment to you that was on your mind for days. You bring it up later, like, I really didn't like how that made me feel when you said that. I never said that. And then you begin to question yourself. Well, maybe I'm going crazy. Like, did that even really happen? That's just one example. So gaslighting is a huge one. Stonewalling, which is basically the silent treatment. It's a power move to regain control over a situation. It's usually the response after standing up to your abuser or narcissist about something that they did that was inappropriate, or voicing how you feel about something. They will punish you with a silent treatment. Not just silent treatment, they'll withhold affection, sex, attention, all of those things. About narcissistic awareness, which will be coming out later this year. But I explain all of those things, and something to be really careful of. And a lot of times people who aren't aware of what narcissism is or what it looks like aren't aware that they're in that relationship until it's too late. And they're questioning themselves, because narcissists have a tendency to prey on empathetic, nurturing people who are ambitious and doing great things, not because they're necessarily attracted to what that person is doing. It's more about how good it makes them look. So when they're with these people, we'll call them good people. Good people tend to look through the lens of rationale. So they're trying to process what this narcissist is doing through the lens of rationale, and it never makes sense. Like, well, he told me this. I'm going to process it how I would see it. But you can't, because their lens is fractured. You have to consider this person has a mental illness, and they can't, process information the way that you would. And that's the danger a lot of people in those relationships fall in. So I just try to educate people to understand, like, the way they operate is not how you would operate. And that becomes a cycle, a vicious, toxic cycle of back and forth and up and down and indefinitely, on and on for years and years. And don't have kids with them, because then they really think they got you. But I just want to educate as many people as possible, because it's amazing to me that a lot of these narcissists that I've come across in my life have never met each other, but they all have the same traits. It's almost cookie cutter. It's cookie cutter. So the more people we educate on that information, the more people we could potentially protect and help save.
Absolutely. That was very well said. I mean, I couldn't have said that better.
Thank you.
That was amazing. So, I mean, a lot of people, like you said, a lot of people don't know what it is. So I'm so glad you were able to express that. I think that will help a lot of people understand when things are happening in a relationship. You can't really understand narcissists. You're not meant to really, unless you have the same mentality. So I think that's great that you brought that up. Is there any questions you have, Miss Marbra?
No.
Yes, you learning something over there too?
Yes.
Because I'm over here like, they are doing it. I love you too. Like, oh my God.
Thank you.
Yes. Now, in your intro too, what I was a little confused about, and I wanted to ask you, because I'm like, it says that you guys leaned on your faith. I got that. But it also says in scientific research to breathe new life back into your marriage. Scientific research. What are we talking about? Because I was like, they got to tell me what this is.
I have my wife works in the medical field. So she's very analytical, loves to know stuff, just data and stuff. But what I wanted to do was take a deep dive into the makeup of how men are wired and how women are wired, and understand that how that plays a big part in relationships. And I think that's a part that a lot of people don't really understand, that men or women are wired differently. That estrogen and that testosterone does something in the way we process information. It does something, a woman is wired, you know, she's a receiver. Everything about a woman is made to receive, right? She receives information, and when she receives and processes, she always gives you there something back better, right? You know, you give a woman groceries, she knows how to make a meal. You give her a building, she can turn it into a home or a business. You know, you give her a word, she's gonna give you back a sentence. You know, you give her sperm, she's gonna give you back a baby. Women, they receive, they multiply, and they give it back, right? So if you give her a lip, she's gonna give you back some frustration, you know. And so when you understand how she's wired, that she's spiritually equal, but God made her very unique. And I think a lot of men struggle with that. They struggle with truly understanding how a woman is wired. They don't get it. You know, we call it pink and blue conversations. You know, when a woman says she doesn't have anything to wear, don't mean that she don't have clothes. It's just, you know, men need to understand what that means, right? When a man says he don't got nothing to wear, he don't. It's dirty. Everything is dirty, right? Same sentence, but it means something totally different. You know, when a woman wants to talk, she really don't want you to give her answers, right? She really wants to talk. She just wants you to listen. You know, men don't understand that. You know, scientifically, men use fewer words than women. You know, scientifically, men don't see color as brighter, vivid as women. Those things really matter when you understand makeup. And so I did a lot of deep diving just in the scientificness. Man, you know what? Because sometimes, you know, as a guy, I'd be like, I think my wife crazy. But when I start realizing that all women are wired almost the same way, it's like, no, that ain't just her. That's just how women speak. That's how they empathize. That's how they emote.
I got faith they're coming back.
Yeah.
I want to play a quick game with them too.
That's a great interview tonight. Come on back. Come on back. That's when this Wi-Fi is ready to act up.
Okay.
There.
Yay, you're back. And I mean, I was so enjoying how you came up with the wire. Well, you didn't come up with it, but how you acknowledged that the wire is different. It makes a big difference in everything. I never thought about that. And I mean, for a guy, you to
see,
you don't really see that. I would have thought the wife, of course, would have been like, well, yes, the wiring, but not the guy. So yes, awesome.
But it's nice to get.
And I need that, right? Oh, go ahead.
It's nice to get, you know, the perspective from a male. You know, you don't really get too much of the male perspective when it comes to relationships. This is beautiful. This is a perfect example of, you know, the perfect Black couple. You know, this is Black love, right?
God did that. Thank you.
Yeah.
All glory.
You have to. You know, God has to be number one in every relationship.
I was crazy. And I know me. I know the men that are me. So I talk to us. Right. We got an ego. We got a pride problem.
Yeah.
And we are destroying our Black women. We are putting more on them than they were supposed to bear. Black women have now, they're getting more cancers and thyroids and sickness, and they're dying faster than they used to because we are putting way more stress on them than we were supposed to. And so I talk to the women who inundated with the visualization of the Snapchat and the Instagram and the live. You know, God had me go through this, man, so I can really talk to the me's of the world. I can't talk to nobody else. I talk to the me's, and I can say that if I can be with a woman who was a great catch and all these things and still don't get it right, I said, man, we in trouble as men. And it shows because our Black women are the least to get married. Our Black women have the highest rate of single motherness. Our Black women has the highest rate of domestic violence. Why are we beating up our Black women? Why are we treating them so bad? Our men don't know how to be a man. We have no clue on what being a man is. We know how to be a male, but we don't know how to be a man.
Mm-hmm. Powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very powerful and very, very true, unfortunately.
Very good.
And, you know, I think a lot, the media raised the people. That's what I think. I just feel like that. I always said it's the media that just damaged them, you know, and I hate that. And the fact that a lot of male was removed from the household has something to do with it too.
Yep.
But, you know, with people like you out here, and we got a chance.
Right.
Yeah, got a chance. Because the fact that you guys are giving of yourself to others to help families, marriages, just learning from your experiences and sharing that with everybody, I think that's amazing. I definitely have taken away quite a bit from you two in just this short time. So it's pretty awesome. I love it. Now, what I want to do with you guys, and we can get back to the conversation, but I just want to take a quick little mental break because that was a lot to process. I want to play a game. Are you guys up for that?
Yes, let's do it.
Let's do it. Now, I'm going to need you to be fair, okay? Because I can't go to Miami right now to make sure that you're not knocking on each other's fingers and nothing like that. So I just need you to close your eyes. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you a question. And you're going to point to either yourself or to your mate or who it relates to the most. You got it?
Yes.
All right. All right. So let's do this. We're going to start out real slow. Who snores the loudest? All right. That's 1 point. You guys got that right. All right. Who talks the most? All right. 2 points. So far. Good. Who takes the longest to get dressed? Well, you almost poked in the eye with that one. All right. Who's always right?
I hear you.
Who's always right? Oh, you finally got one wrong. Okay. Well, the question was who's always right, and then this is the one you got wrong. So we already know we're in trouble. All right. So this is the last and final question. Let's get this right, people. Who said I love you first? Aw, good job. Well, that was a fun little game, and you guys got 4 out of 5 right. So I say that's an A+ in my book.
I'm right.
Yes.
Okay. In your world.
Yes, that was pretty good.
Wiring.
You know what? You're both right for each other at the end of the day. So that's all that matters. And you all have been tremendous guests on the show today. Is there anything else you want to say, Ms. Marber?
No, I want to thank you both for gracing my platform. It's a pleasure having you guys.
Absolutely. And before you leave, just let the people know where to find you. How can they get more information on you? Because the movie that you guys have out, Friends, Family, and Lovers. I want to know, how can we see that?
It was good.
Oh, we have several ways you can reach us, right? CoachMyLove.com is our general website. On that website, you can find our store. We have a store. We have 2 books that's out now. We wrote one called Know Thyself, which is a self-analyzation workbook that will take you on a journey to really just, surface level. It's not too deep with psychology, but it does have some assessments and some things in there where you can learn how you process your attachment styles, love type, all those things. And another book called Healthy Tips keeping your relationship healthy, something that we wrote. It talks about a lot of the things that we did in there to help our relationship during the pandemic, how we was able to bring back the joy and love in there. So that's a great book. But it also follow us on YouTube, Coach My Love TV. We have a show that we're producing out here in Miami Beach. We're asking people on the street trivia questions about love, sex, and relationships, which is hilarious.
I see that your face just lit up when you said that. You were happy about that.
We've been working a lot to make that happen, and then we do a show where we're doing free coaching sessions today on the street. So people who come by, they want to do a free coaching session. We're in our podcast. So Coach My Love TV or CoachMyLove.com, and then the movie Friends, Family, and Lovers.com. You can go to that website and you can rent the movie as well.
All right, that's dope. And what do you have over there, Miss Shavon? What's going on with?
Yes, ma'am. So aside from the Coach My Love, I have a professional acting modeling page, Instagram, Siobhan_Ballard.brand. And I'm also, like we said, on YouTube. We also have TikTok, which has been really popular and catching on. If you don't have TikTok, please get it. We have TikTok, and we have Siobhan Ballard TikTok. So very entertaining, very fun stuff.
Yes, I'm definitely on TikTok. We have to follow one another.
Yes,
absolutely. Yep. Well, that is it, everybody. I've definitely enjoyed you all yet again. Thank you for coming on the scene with Marbra Foster and me as your guest host, Marquita, aka Auntie Kita on TikTok, and Kita K on TK Talks on My Radio Chicago. Thank you, Marbra, for inviting me to be a guest on your show today. You can find me again on Marquita Spears on Facebook, where you'll find all my other junk that you can find out about me on there. Yes.
Thank you for having us. We really enjoyed this interview. Thank you for giving us a platform and opportunity to share what we do. And it's been a blessing.
You guys are awesome. Thank you guys. Chicago.
Yes, Chicago. Have fun in Miami.
Everybody from Chicago keep coming down here. We meet more people from Chicago and Miami. It's crazy.
Yes. I told you I was just there, and then when I came home, I know so many people that's still on their way out there. Every week. Every week
is crazy. I feel like I never left. All I need is some Garrett's popcorn out here. It's crazy.
I know. I wish I had known you guys when I was out there. That would have been so amazing. That would have been amazing.
Again, now you do.
Yeah. Do you all do your interviews on South Beach?
Yes.
Right on.
It gotta be funny. I gotta go watch that.
We meet people from Paris, Russia, Brazil, from all over the world. And some of the answers are so hilarious. It's unscripted and unfiltered. So
it's funny. I like
please beware.
Some of the answers, I'm like, wow.
She's
the best though, you know?
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope.
Guys.
I love you too. We best friends now.
Oh yeah. Any more problems? I'm to Miami. I'm flying out to Miami.
Yeah.
Come on.
Let's go too. Yes, we need to travel.
Yes. Well, thank you, Michael and Shavon Ballard. I look forward to seeing you guys soon. And Shavon, I'm going to get that film over to you as soon as I can.
Excellent. Thank you so much, ladies. Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.